As a chef and a nutritionist, I often get asked, why do you think our nation is so sick? My answer, what do we do every day? We eat food. I live with illness and have used food to help me get well and feel better. My goal here is to teach you to do the same. Eating healthfully can be simple, delicious, and nutritious. So chew on this. Hi, I'm Stephanie Sachs, and welcome to Chew on This. Today's topic is cystic fibrosis, how diet can help. And with me are two amazing people, and I don't say this lightly, Allison and Jessie. Thanks, guys, for being here.
Thank you for having us.
So I want to talk a little bit about CF before we get into their incredible story. It's something that's very close to my heart because I have a friend. We've known each other since we were 2. And he has cystic fibrosis. So I spent my whole life knowing that my friend could die at any time because there is no cure for CF. And I wanted to do everything that I possibly could to make sure that he would live. And he's 44 today. He's married. He's got 2 children. He has CF and lives with CF because you can live with CF. And Allison is proof. Allison has CF, and Jessie is here because our heartstrings are at this point tied. Jessie donated a kidney to Allison, and November 9th, was it?
Right, yes.
Right, okay. So this is a tearjerker for me. I started an event out in the Hamptons called Breath of the Hamptons to raise money for CF. There are only 70,000 people worldwide with this disease, so it's a boutique illness. And we need to raise awareness. And Allison's going to tell us a little bit about her story. You were diagnosed when?
I was about 2 months old, and they noticed that I wasn't gaining weight. It was called failure to thrive.
Right.
So I was taken into New York City to a hospital, and they did the sweat tests and found out that I had it.
So normally you're diagnosed as an infant,
Fairly
right?
young, yes. There are individuals that I know who weren't diagnosed until they became adults, but that's pretty unusual. I mean, usually you show some signs of having it.
Right,
but
right, because I know someone who was diagnosed at 31.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And how did you learn about it? Was it just...
Only through knowing Allison. I had no idea about the disease until I came to know Allison, and through that, just seeing her living with it, really, just learning more, kind of learn as I go.
Right. So CF is a disease essentially of the digestive system.
And the respiratory system.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, people with CF have a buildup of salt in the system, and therefore mucus forms, really thick mucus in the lungs and in the digestive system, and it's kind of an all-encompassing disease because from the respiratory can spawn other issues, and the medications can cause further issues, so it's one of those all-encompassing illnesses.
So then it affects multiple organ systems. So at this point, you've had a double lung transplant.
Mm-hmm.
You've had a kidney transplant.
Yes.
Thanks to Jessie.
Yes.
Okay, and your pancreas is shut down.
Correct.
So you now have diabetes.
Yes, I have cystic fibrosis-related diabetes, CFRD, which is, not everybody with CF gets it, but a majority seem to, that I know.
Okay,
So
and then...
that came about 14 years ago for me.
So it's a myriad of concerns.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's always something. That's what we joke about, my friends and I who have CF.
Right.
It's never a dull moment with this illness.
So what are your biggest challenges? I'm curious. Because you look really healthy to me.
Thank you. That's what everybody says about people with CF.
Yeah.
But you don't look sick.
Yeah.
And you don't have to look sick with this disease. In fact, a lot of people look really good.
Right.
But inside, it's a different story. Every day for somebody with CF is a struggle. Just getting up in the morning and trying to breathe, it's scary. It's a struggle. They have to do physical therapy for their lungs every day, respiratory therapy.
So you do exercises?
I do exercises.
Right. So I remember Tommy always did that.
Yes,
Yeah.
exercise is very important. Pre-transplant, it's just getting the excess mucus out, and there's different therapies to do that. It's hours of nebulizer treatments.
Right, which open up your bronchioles.
Right. And when I say hours of it, I have friends who spend 4 to 5 hours a day doing that and doing their therapy just to be able to get through the day.
So it's a
great.
full-time job. I mean,
is.
it's hard
It
to
is.
it's hard to even have a job if you have CF.
Correct. And that's the thing, when people say, oh, you don't look sick, well,
All you do is take care of yourself.
yeah, it is a full-time job. And even post-transplant, it's a full-time job for me.
Now there are different, I mean, there's some, people who don't make it past the age of 3, and then there are people who live until 20 or
Even longer.
right.
Yeah.
So apparently the median age of survival is like late 30s right now.
Right. When I was born, it wasn't anywhere near that.
Right.
I mean, they gave my parents the suggestion to put me in a children's home when I was born, because at that point, excuse me, back in the 70s, there wasn't that much knowledge about CF, not like there is today. I mean, the advances in science have been amazing in the last 20 years or so.
Wow.
And that's why people with CF can live a lot longer.
Right. Jessie, so I'm curious, because you and I share such a similar story. I mean, I haven't given a kidney, but we both have friends with CF. How has it impacted your life?
I would say that it's enriched my life in a way that I didn't expect. I mean, first meeting Allison, like on first glance, like she says, she looks fine, she has this great sense of humor, but then really seeing the struggle, really knowing her and knowing, well, oh, I can't get together with you guys this week because I'm going to be in the hospital for surgery.
Right.
Really, it's made me have a deeper respect for her as a person, and also I think has taught me a lot about being strong,
Teaches us a lot
being
about
grateful,
life,
right? For your
it's
health,
amazing.
Taking responsibility for your health
Right.
in a different way. So
What about, so I want to just talk a little bit about diet, because I've looked at your food diary, and there's a lot of confusion over what you should eat.
Right.
Because what you're dealing with is you have to gain weight, you have diabetes, you have, a form of like a reflux.
Correct. Yep.
Okay?
Yeah.
And, you have a someone else's kidney, someone else's lungs. There are a lot of things to consider. Yeah. I think the most pressing really is the diabetes that is so prominent.
Yes.
So I looked at your diet, and with all due respect, it was a
You
tad
probably got a good
offensive.
laugh. I expected that.
it's a good read, huh?
with the soda and the Snickers and
yeah.
things like that. And so what I found so interesting about one of the things that you had said was that when you were in the hospital, you were given, and you had said this also, that post-transplant, you were given, told to have candy or soda, and it just seems so contradictory.
Right. Yes. But this was done by basically the CF doctors and nutritionists who focus on the patient gaining weight and maintaining weight, because it's a real issue with CF patients.
Right.
So they would basically bring you whatever you wanted, high calorie, even high sugar, which contradicts the diabetes.
Right.
Unfortunately.
And then for you, no one gave you any guidance.
No, they just said, oh, yeah, you're fine. No dietary
Bye-bye, you're the
restrictions.
well person.
Yeah.
See you later.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, part of what we want to do on this show is not that food can always cure disease, but what it can do is help maintain health. And when I looked at your menu, I said, oh my goodness, there are so many things that you could be doing just to tweak, to make things a little more, to make your food climate and your inner climate a little more savory for someone who lives with CF and multiple health concerns. Right. And part of it is reducing the refined sugar, because we had talked about this. There's a concept called candida, which is a yeast. So we all have yeast in our gut, and if you take too many antibiotics, what happens is the good yeast or the good bacteria gets killed, and then we have an overgrowth of the bad bacteria, which promotes the growth of yeast. And so anything like sugar, fermented foods, all of that feeds it. So you're being told to have all these sugary foods to gain weight, but it's contraindicated for diabetes and for candida. Now, I have tons of information on my toolkit, because I do a toolkit for each show that's downloadable on my site at stephaniesachs.com. So you guys can even reference that afterwards. in terms of information about Candida, information about CF. So there are resources there, but what I want to do today is head into the kitchen, and I took a day in the life of Allison Lennon, and
So
I made it a little healthier.
A lot healthier.
Okay,
Sure.
maybe a lot healthier. And we're going to take a look at some of the other food choices that you could be making. Very similar to what you're choosing, just different products and just shifting you a little bit. So you're not having a Snickers bar, 3 times a day, but you're having something else that's going to give you the calories, that's going to give you nutrition, and isn't going to cause problems with blood sugars, that's not going to cause problem with your digestion, which you do have problems with, rice and pastas.
Yes.
Okay?
Sounds good.
Good. Okay, so we are going to cook cream of cauliflower soup, and we are going to cook a chicken stir fry, because I noticed that you do eat chicken, you do eat vegetables, and we all went out to lunch that one day, right?
And
you
didn't
had
we
the
have
stir
chicken?
fry.
Yeah, we had
You had the
chicken.
stir fry, right? Yeah. Okay, so we will be right back, and we're going to head into the kitchen. You're watching Chew on This. I'm Stephanie Sachs, and we've got Allison Lennon and Jessie Kellis here with us today. And our topic is cystic fibrosis, how diet can help. Thanks for being here, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So now we're in the kitchen, and what we're doing is looking at what Allison eats in a day. And what I'm trying to do is tweak it a little bit to make it just a little healthier, okay? So Allison likes to have bacon and eggs, and you also love pancakes, which are okay. But you need to kind of mix, if you had like a little yogurt with your pancakes, that would be great, because we're looking at diabetes as one of the issues that you deal with because of the cystic fibrosis. Right. So I know you guys dine together often.
We do. Yes.
Yes.
It's one of our favorite things to do together.
We do it well.
So here we have eggs, and we've got bacon, and it's not sort of the traditional bacon that we would think of. I mean, it is. It's from a pig, okay? But it is without nitrates and nitrites.
What are nitrates?
So what nitrates and nitrates are they're actually naturally occurring, but oftentimes are also added to our foods to preserve the freshness, the flavor, the shelf life, the color, okay? And most lunch meats will have them, and they're thought to be carcinogenic. Okay? They're in a category in the FDA called generally recognized as safe.
Wow.
Okay?
Pretty broad.
So
Okay.
what that means is that there's not enough information to
Right.
tell us that it's harmless, and there's not enough information to tell us that it's totally harmful. Okay? So there's a great company, Applegate Farms, that makes nitrate-free bacon and lunch meats. And then here we have a turkey sandwich, which seems to be sort of customary, chicken, turkey, you do a lot of that. You need the protein.
Protein is important for people with CF.
Right. And why?
For energy,
Right.
because people with CF expel a lot of energy trying to breathe during the day.
And that's
that's
why.
that's where all their energy is going.
Right.
And nutrition is very important to get that energy back.
Exactly. And also because protein is very helpful in cell building and muscle building, and especially when, you have this concept of failure to thrive with CF. So you want to make sure that you have a balanced diet, okay? So this again is nitrate-free turkey. Now what I've done is I've given you a bit of a different bread. So we had talked about the concept of candida, and where does this yeast or what is this yeast in our bodies, this bad yeast, feed off of? And it's sugar, it's yeast itself, fermented foods, okay, such as like pickles and sauerkraut and alcohol. So those are the things that when you're thinking of your diet on a whole, you can't be perfect. You just want to, if you can make better choices, you make better choices. So bread without yeast, okay? And then we're going to make dinner for Allison. And Allison does not like to cook very much. She's a little scared to cook, right, Jess?
She doesn't trust herself with knives. I understand.
No, it's just the end result usually isn't what I picture.
We're gonna
That's
give you
the
the-
problem. Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. Jessie does, so we're going to kind of guide her a little bit here. And we're going to make a chicken vegetable stir fry. We've already prepped some vegetables. I'm going to start out by doing a little onion and garlic. And we have a baked sweet potato that we're going to do with a chicken vegetable stir fry. And we're going to do a cream of cauliflower soup. Okay?
Sounds good.
All right, so let's start here
Watch,
with,
there's a knife now, so
this is a knife.
stand back.
Okay?
Honey,
Would you hold this?
Be careful.
I think I can
Jess,
handle
will you
these.
turn the stove on for me to about 5? I like to.
I will. I don't know how to use this type of
Yeah,
range,
this is an
though.
electric.
This is a little
Yeah,
advanced
It
for
is.
me.
You should see our ovens. It's
Yeah.
Well,
sad.
you know, it's challenging to cook on an electric range because I don't feel like you have full control of the
Right.
heat. So we're just going to slice down an onion. Again, all these foods are loaded with nutrition for you and for anybody, really. And all the recipes that we're doing, you can find on my website. I will give them to you guys personally. Okay? As well as the downloadable toolkit. So this is sesame oil. All oils you want to keep in the refrigerator once they're opened, except olive.
Okay. Now, why are you using sesame oil versus olive oil, Steph?
Because what we're doing here is we're doing Asian cuisine,
Okay.
something with an Asian flair. So I like to use a more Asian-geared oil. But that's
So it isn't really that one is better than the other nutritionally.
they all
wise?
have different nutritional profiles.
Okay.
Okay, so sesame oil has, you know, some of your omega-3s, your omega-6s. But different oils have different profiles. But again, you know, for the purpose of your diet, you want to up the ante on the oil a little bit. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to put some onions in. Listen to that sizzle. Ready, Allison? I'm going to smash garlic,
Okay.
just like so, which you peel.
Without slitting your wrist, hopefully.
Yeah.
Or cutting a finger off, in my case.
Right. Do you like to eat?
Do I like to eat? Are you kidding me? Yes. Very
Love
much.
to eat.
Something I do very well.
Okay, so here we're just going to just give this a rough chop. And all garlic, onions, and ginger, all of which we're putting in here, are considered nature's antibiotics.
Really?
So for you, the more you can eat and put these foods in your diet, the better off you are. You know, I was just reading, I was just actually doing this thing for an event that I'm working on, and I was reading about all different whole foods and their medicinal benefits, and that radishes are actually known to break up mucus.
Really?
Yep. Be sucking down
Do
some
you like radishes?
I don't eat enough radishes, and I don't have it in my diet. Maybe I should add it.
You could just put them in salad. Like daikon radishes is not as pungent as red radishes. And here's some fresh ginger, okay, which will grate like this.
That's fancy.
You know, very simple. I don't make a fuss over peeling it. And you just put it in
easier.
like so. Yeah.
Okay. Ooh.
Just like that. You can mix that around for me.
I get to use the tongs now?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Okay, just mix that around.
Just make sure you get that over there.
Okay.
I think
Now,
I will.
Allison, it is your turn to come and
Here.
cut the zucchini.
Okay, I'll
Jess,
take
I'm handing over
over.
the power.
Jess, it's you. Why
Okay.
don't you put the chicken in, Jess?
Okay, got it.
And mix that around.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see.
How big am I making this? What am I doing?
Okay. So you're gonna go
Just
like
give
this.
me an idea, because I do this once in a while.
Okay. Just like that. Now, right?
Tell me if I'm going too big.
Like this. You see?
I feel like I'm in kindergarten.
I
Thank
know.
you.
Well, you should. See? You got it.
Kindergarten's
Yeah.
fun.
Look at you. I'm so proud.
Thanks. Oops, that was too big. And I'm crying from that.
From the onion.
Ooh,
It's not because you love me so much that you're crying.
that could be why.
Okay, perfect. Great. And toss it into our veggie bowl.
Okay.
And then what you're going to do is just, I like to sort of shred broccoli a little bit.
Okay.
So,
Cut off the...
yeah, you can actually use this part of it. So what I would do is,
I never do.
you never do.
No, I like the...
Okay.
I like
The stem?
the treetops.
That's fine. You can pick the treetops like this,
Okay.
or you can just take it and go like
Crack 'em
this.
Okay.
Yep.
That's good.
Okay, Jess, that's looking good. We're going to take a little tamari, which is soy sauce,
Oh.
and
I noticed that it's organic
it's
as well as the chicken
is
is
or-
organic too, right?
It is organic. a large percentage of our soy crop is genetically modified. So when I'm doing soy, I like to do organic soy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Genetically modified soy. That's a
Sounds good, doesn't it?
scary thought.
Okay. And then mirin is a sweet rice wine. Okay. And it's like a sake.
Ooh.
Okay.
We like sake.
Right. Exactly.
No, we don't.
Okay. So let's let that cook.
Wasn't that your
Have it.
birthday a couple
Stir
years
that up a bit. All right,
Keep
Jess.
stirring the chicken.
Now you're gonna put the
Oh, okay.
Here.
So we'll want to switch off?
Yes.
yeah switch
Take
off.
that.
Okay.
Let's go, Jess.
will.
That's you. We're making
Okay.
the cauliflower soup, and that's the Vitamix, which is super powerful blender. Exactly. Great.
You okay over there?
Good.
You're doing
Mixing.
okay.
Making sure the
Looking good.
chicken's turning brown.
Okay. So now let's just put our vegetables on top. We'll get it all cooking. You can just leave it as is for right now.
Okay. Smells good.
Let it cook down. We'll turn the heat up just a tad. Okay. Great, Jess.
Good job, Jess.
Now, you can use this concept for tons of different vegetables. Literally just doing vegetables. Let's see the cooking water because we're going to need some of that. So
okay.
bring it on over.
Here.
This is just cauliflower steamed in water. Okay, that's
Okay.
all it is. And then all I'm doing is adding cheese to it. That's it. And where's that? Can you grab that spoon for me? Yeah, thank you,
I left it
girlies.
behind.
Okay. And Allison, this is a good way for you, to get, some of the protein and the fat from the dairy,
Right.
but together with a vegetable that is extremely filled with nutrients. Okay? Okay, I'm going to add a teeny bit more water to this. You can see that I don't like to add all the water at first because you don't want it to be too creamy.
Right.
Right.
I mean, too thin. So what I like to do is add it at the end.
Should you be stirring this?
No, she said let it.
Oh, okay.
It's
I just was making sure she was
You
doing
can
her
mix it
job.
now.
Okay. You should mix it now, Allison.
Thank
Steph
you.
said.
Thanks. Thanks, got that.
Steph said to mix it.
Oh wow, the onions are.
Okay, here's some soup. You can finish it with some black pepper.
Ooh.
Okay. Looking good.
It smells fabulous.
Does it smell bad? I thought you
really
said it
does.
smells badly.
No, it's fabulous.
Oh, I'm so glad. All right, you got to use a little muscle here,
I'm
girlfriend.
sorry. I'm trying to get the chicken down there so it actually.
You're the toughest person I know. Come on.
Yeah, you are the
Put some-
toughest person.
You are.
Doesn't
you are.
mean I'm good at
She's
using
a
a
gentle
skillet.
cook.
Very
gentle
gentle.
cook.
She doesn't want to hurt the broccoli.
She doesn't want to hurt it. I like that.
Trust me, I could if I
All
wanted
right.
to. All right.
So let's let that cook a little bit, and we're
Okay.
going to come on over here. We've got our soup, so everybody can taste a little bit of our soup.
Thank you.
Okay.
No double dipping.
I'm going to double dip. Just because you told me not to.
That's really good.
Oh, that is really
Very
good.
pure, right? You can always add a
good.
little salt if you want, but or more
It's
cheese.
nice. It's easy.
Very,
Very
simple,
easy.
easy, and you can do this with broccoli. You can do it with asparagus. You can do it with squash. Okay, but it's the way for you to like plain cauliflower soup is delicious, but it's a little boring. It's a good way for you to get some extra calories.
So that was a whole head of broccoli. And how
Whole
much
cauliflower.
cheese? Or, sorry, cauliflower.
like 1.5 cups of cheese.
Okay.
And the recipes are on my website. Now, the other thing, too, is soda. I'm going to introduce you to a few snacks while we're waiting for our
I'm
chicken.
going to take this for you.
Is that instead of having soda, which you do drink,
Once in a while.
right,
Getting better.
Should
cola,
I stir this?
Yeah.
because you know that promotes
I know.
osteoporosis. Okay, yes, you can stir that, ma'am. We can do a little seltzer. spotted with a little juice. And try that. Would you like a cocktail?
Oh, yes, I
Can
would.
you
Thank
can you do two things at
I can.
once?
I can.
Because I can't.
And for you, love.
Thank you. Cheers.
To you.
And again, what it
Cheers.
does is it gives you just a little punch. You can squeeze some lime in it. It's not that sugar rush, but it gives you that carbonation.
It's good.
Okay, and you can add more juice
Right.
for sweeter if you want. But I want to be cautious with your blood sugar. A snack bar is this great coconut bar. Because yes, there's sugar in it, but the coconut has fat. So
Thank you.
this is a good.
No thanks.
No thanks. And to replace your Snickers, get a dark chocolate
Oh, that looks good.
that's high in antioxidants,
Okay.
that's pure. It's not delivering as much sugar, per se. And this is a great, great chocolate, which you can try when you're done eating that. And then always a trail mix, because you can tolerate nuts,
Yes.
but not too many of them. So let's see how this is doing here.
How's
is really good.
Is it good?
I'm not a
Would
big
you like
coconut
to-
fan, but this is good.
Taste it now?
No,
Pam?
I wouldn't. Thank you.
Okay, and now
No.
this is gamashio, which is sesame seeds and a little salt. And you just finish it with that. Okay. And I always like to finish with toasted sesame oil. So for when we're ready, we can put it on here. So do you think that this is doable for you to
Absolutely.
make some changes? Because I know one of the hardest things is that, you've been told carbohydrate count, you've been told to monitor your diet, but is this a way that you can do it where you don't feel so trapped?
Yes, definitely. Because it's not telling me you can't have this, you can't have that.
Right.
Watch what you're eating. Just giving me a solution is easier than telling me don't eat something.
Right.
I
The
think that's
whole,
true for
avoid
most
list.
patients. Yeah.
Right. No, I agree with you. It's about the solution. So that's what we
Right.
try to do on the show. So what I want to do is thank you guys so much for being here. And I want everybody out there to know that cystic fibrosis is a boutique illness. Prognosis is not good for many. So the more you can educate yourselves is great. It's a wonderful, helpful thing to do. It's all the smell, right?
Smells good.
And if you have any questions, definitely shoot me an email. There are tons of resources. I am not a CF expert, but I do focus on food. So I can help people with CF, but you always need to have a solid medical team behind you when you're dealing with any type of chronic terminal illness. Okay, so definitely look at my site, stephaniesachs.com. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you. It was a lot of fun.
And let's eat.
Okay.